Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to begin with the fourth chapter of mathematics, that is operations on fraction. So this topic we are going to inculcate in algebra section. Okay. So now let's begin with the chapter. The lesson's name is operations on fractions. So children, up till now, you have studied lot of operations, isn't it? They are addition, means plus sign. To do subtraction, we use minus sign. To do multiplication, we use this multiplication sign. That is to find product of two numbers. And to divide, we use this division sign. That means to find quotient. Okay. So these are the different operations which we use with different numbers to get the answers. Yes. Now we are going to use the same operations, but we are going to use this with fractions. So now what are fractions? Let us study about the fractions. Suppose fraction. Okay. So suppose we are having 4 apples. How many apples? 4 apples. And these 4 apples we want to divide among 2 children. Okay. So here we are having one boy and other one girl. And these 4 apples we want to divide among these 2 children. How much apple will each child get? Yes. See, 2. See, 1 apple if suppose we are giving this one. Second we will give here. Third and fourth. So 4 apples, are they equally distributed? So we can say each child has got 2 apples. What did we do? We had 4 apples. Yes. We divided those 4 apples among how many children? 2 children. So each one of them have got 2 apples. Okay. Now suppose we are having 2 apples. How much apple will each child get? Correct. Each child will get 1 apple. So 1 you will give to this boy and second one you will give to this girl. So are both the apples distributed? Yes. So see how we got the answer? 2 apples were divided among 2 children. So each one of them got 1 apple. Yes. Now suppose we are having only 1 apple. Can you divide among these 2 children? Yes, you can divide. How will you divide? See, suppose I am taking it like this, the apple. Then, each child will get half portion. This boy will get this half and this girl will get this half. Yes or no? So, see, 1 apple we divided among 2 children means each child will get half. See, 1 apple upon 2. That means they will get, each one of them will get half apple. Did you understand? Now, suppose we have 3 apples. So, see, 1 apple for this boy, 1 apple for this girl. So, 2 apples are distributed. 1 is remaining, isn't it? So, what we will do? That 1 we will distribute among them in this way, equally. So, each one is getting 1 and half. Yes or no? So, how to write this? 3 divided by 2. What will we get? Yes. 3 upon 2. Yes or no? Means 3 upon 2 is 1. We are going to do this division. That means each child will get 1 and half. 1 and half apple. Okay. Now see children, just look at these numbers. Earlier they got 2 apples, then 1. Did they get complete apples here? First they got 2 complete apples, then they got 1 complete whole apple, isn't it? So such kind of numbers are called whole numbers. But here if you will see, they are getting half, that means less than 1, isn't it? And this is also, here they are getting in this condition 1 apple and plus 1 apple whatever they are getting, it is less than half. So these numbers are little bit different compared to compared to whole numbers. Yes, they are smaller than whole numbers. Such numbers in this form are called as fractions. Did you understand what are fractions? Yes, the numbers which are in numerator and denominator form are called as fractions. And this here they are called whole numbers because here they got complete apples. But in these two conditions they got somewhere less than 1. Here they got less than 1. Here they got 1 apple, but this was half. Yes or no? So such kind of numbers which are in numerator and denominator form are called as fractions. Okay. So now let us learn more about it. So let's recall about fraction. If you want to describe a part of a whole, it is called a fraction. Means from something whole, if you want to describe a small part, then that small part is called as a fraction. For example, suppose this is pizza. Okay, you are like pizza, isn't it? So we'll take an example of pizza. Suppose this is pizza and you brought this pizza at home. It has 4 parts like this. 1, 2. So total 4 parts it has. And when your father or mother, anybody has brought this at home, you are alone child, okay, and your father also likes pizza. So you are sharing with him one part. Suppose you are sharing this part with your father. Means how many parts did you give him? Total parts are how much? 4. Yes or no? Total number of parts are how much? Correct. They are 4. Out of that you gave one part to father. So you will write how? How will you write it? 1 upon 4. So this part you have given for your father. We can say as Papa. Okay. So next. Again, if your mother asks for a pizza, so you are giving this part to her. So one part again out of 4 you have given to your mother. Okay. Then how much part is remained? This part. Is it half? 1 and 1 more. Means 2 parts are remained out of 4. So you will write like this. 2 upon 4 is for you. Okay, and suppose your name is Virat. We will write here Virat. Okay, so your father had 1 part out of 4. So you can say it 1 upon 4 or 1 out of 4. Your mother also has taken 1 part. So you can say 1 out of 4 or 1 upon 4. And 2 parts were remain out of 4 that you had. Suppose Virat had. Means Virat had 2 upon 4 part of pizza. Can you say you ate complete pizza? No, you ate some part of it. You can say half part you have ate. You didn't eat whole part. Yes, whole part of pizza was not eaten by you. That means less than whole you had eaten. That yes, such number which you use to describe a part out of whole is called a fraction. Did you understand? So here I have written some examples, that is 1 upon 2, 4 upon 7, 9 upon 5. These all are fractions. Okay. So how do we write this? The upper number is called as numerator and the down number is called as denominator. And how to read this? You can read this fraction as 1 upon 2, or you can also say half. How will you read this fraction? 4 upon 7. Yes, so this is how we are going to read the fraction, and the upper number is called numerator, below number is called denominator. And what is fraction you all have understood. Yes, now what you will do in your CW, you will write lessons name, that is operations on fractions, and after that children you will write this definition. Fractions, if you want to describe a part of a whole, it is called a fraction. So write this definition, examples of it, and this 1 upon 2, this is numerator and this is denominator. So this much notes you are going to write in your CW after writing the lessons name. This pizza and this part, no need to write. It was just an explanation. Okay. Now let's move on to the further part. So let us now study different types of fraction. Okay. So the first type of fraction is proper fractions. Okay. Now we have already learned that the numbers in the form of numerator and denominator are called as fractions. Yes or no? So, if I take fraction for example, 3 upon 5. Here, our numerator is less than denominator. Means, our numerator is small number and denominator is greater number. Such kind of fractions where numerator is less than denominator are called proper fractions. Okay. So, some more examples are 7 upon 9. Okay. Or you can say 33 upon 57. These are some examples of proper fraction. Just keep in mind that the numerators are smaller number than denominators. Such fractions are called proper fraction. Now the second type of fraction what we are going to study, that is improper fractions. What is the other type? Improper fractions. Okay. So what are these fractions? See, they are, for example, if I will take 8 upon 3. Here, numerator is greater than denominator. Okay. So such a fractions where numerator is greater than denominator, then that fractions are called improper fractions. For example, we can take 99 upon 68, or you can take 24 upon 14. Okay. So such fractions where numerator is greater than denominator, then that fractions are called as improper fractions. And the last type what we are going to study, that is mixed fractions. You have studied about this in 4th standard. We will just recall. So see here. Now I am taking 2 and one fraction like 1 upon 4. Yeah. So such a fractions where you have whole number and a fraction. Such fraction is called mixed fraction. Sometimes when you get the test paper of your exam, you get marks in this way. See, if your test paper is of 15 marks, sometimes you score 13 and half. Yes. So then that number becomes a mixed fraction. Did you understand? So the numbers which has whole number and a fraction. Yeah. So 2 is whole number, 13 is whole number, and side to that we are having fraction. So such numbers are called as mixed fractions. Did you understand? And when we had studied about fraction at the beginning of the video, when we had taken 3 apples, yes, that 3 apples when we divided with 2 children, then it was 1 and half, 1 and half, yes. So 1 and half is also one of the mixed fractions. So did you understand the different types of fractions? Yes. So when we have a whole number and a fraction, then such kind of fractions are called mixed fractions. So after the previous notes, you can write down these notes in neat handwriting. Just write types of fraction right here, n upon d. This is nothing but numerator upon denominator. Write the types and examples of it in the same way how I have given to you all.